Welcome back to the Caregiver Minute, where every weekday family and professional caregivers gather to refine their skills, gain inspiration, and prepare to serve. One of my mentors in business is Darren Hardy, and I recently learned a principle from him that I wanted to share with you because it was kind of out of the box and I thought it was helpful. It has to do with our search for happiness, something that's even enshrined in our own Declaration of Independence. Well, what thwarts our happiness in everyday life? Darren pointed out that in a lot of cases, it's our goals. Now, goals are important. We all know that setting goals is something that allows us to achieve more in our lives. But once we've set the goal, Darren suggests we ought to just set the goal aside. Know what we're aiming at, but if we're constantly comparing ourselves to the goal, if we're looking at where we are relative to what it is that we're trying to accomplish day in, day out, we might actually feel rather discouraged because it takes time to achieve some of those big, hairy, audacious goals. Instead, he offered 3 things to focus on. The first one is our vision. If you have a long-term vision, something that you're trying to do, a big thing that you're trying to accomplish, there might be a lot of different roads to get there. Individual goals are like those roads, and they may have to be adjusted 1,000 times to get closer to that bigger, broader vision. And so if we stay focused on what's in the distance, we get a little bit less hung up on the specific direction that we're taking to get there. And it allows us to have the freedom to shift and change and make pivots along the way, because that's often extremely necessary. The next thing he suggests to focus on is the process that we're engaged in. For him, the process is excellence. Regardless of what he's doing, he tries to do it excellently. And if there's excellence in the process, for him, there's joy along the way. That really resonated with me because I've always felt in a similar way that if we're giving our very best effort to whatever it is that we're doing, then we're having success. Even if we've had to revisit the specific trajectory that we're on or the path that we're taking to get to that bigger vision 100 different times. It doesn't feel so derailing when we're focused on the process. The third thing that Darren suggested is to focus on growth. Growth needs to be the outcome of everything that we do. We can change our plans, we can shift and pivot, we can try things and have them not go well, we can flat out fail at things. But if we're giving our very best effort, we're learning along the way. And if we can look back on each day and say, wow, I grew, I stretched, I became something more, then it's easier to feel a sense of happiness and satisfaction in what we're doing, even if we're constantly having to figure out a different way to work toward that long-term vision that we have. So today, I invite you to consider what your big, hairy, audacious goals are in life. What are the things that you really want to accomplish? And then start thinking about those goals in terms of your long-term vision and the process that you're going through to get there and whether or not you're experiencing growth. I think if we consider those 3 things each day and look at how we're doing relative to those principles, it's easier to find happiness and satisfaction instead of constantly looking at where we're failing and what we're falling short on when it comes to our goals. I hope that's helpful to you and the people you serve, and I look forward to seeing you again tomorrow for another episode of the Caregiver Minute.